How's it going, everyone? I am Splatter431 here with some more of Pokemon news. So let's get right into it. Okay, so since my last Pokemon news video, a bunch more stuff has come out, and well, actually I will for around most of October I was on holiday, so yeah, while I did have my laptop with me, so I could see some stuff. I couldn't, do as much as I usually do. So yeah, basically, this video is just gonna be going through all the stuff am not quite as caught up on, just giving my opinions on it. And well, at this point, the games are almost out. There's like leaks everywhere. When the game's almost out, there's lots and lots of leaks. So I thought basically, well, since the games are almost out, let's just go through the stuff I haven't talked about yet so far. So basically, this time the order, I'm going by the order on the Pokemon YouTube channel's video list page. Yeah, from oldest to newest. So right after the last trailer that I talked about is the trailer for Wiglet. Okay, so this thing. Okay. Here's the thing. First, so clearly, obviously, this is a new Pokemon. Wow, shocker. Obviously, so this is a new Pokemon, or is it? You might think like this is some sort of form or evolution of Diglett, but no, it's not. It's just apparently a Pokemon that looks like Diglett, but it's totally not Diglett. It's a completely new Pokemon. So yeah, I'm pretty sure has this kind of thing happened before, where like two Pokemon are like very very similar looking, but actually completely unrelated. I think that happened with like what is it called? Persiker and Meowth? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna look that up right now. Yeah, let's see. Was that a thing? Galarian Meowth. Oh, okay. Ah, yes, the thing that you can just look things up nowadays so quickly. Yeah, that's not a thing. So yeah, a new Pokemon that looks like Diglett. So this is a water type. And there's the height, and there's the weight, and the abilities are Gooey and Rattle. So the first trailer, it's really not anything at all. It's just not even a minute long, 46 seconds. It's just to show basically that Wiglet exists. And oh boy, yeah, that's a long boy right there. It's funny, and not much to say about Wiglet really. Yeah, it looks like Diglett's and it's long. Oh, and I guess it has a sense of smell, I guess, going by the description here. So yeah, that's a Wiglet. Let's go on to the actual long stuff. Oh boy, because we have a long trailer after that one. This is the Jump into a Paldean Journey trailer, which is even longer than the last long trailer, which was no, actually the last trailer wasn't even that long, honestly. Yeah, no, no. This trailer is long because it's more like an overview trailer where they explain stuff. So it's um, not really that long, honestly, when you think about it, because most of the time is spent explaining things that we already know. So yeah, because when you're explaining stuff rather than showing it, of course things take a long time. But right there on the thumbnail already a new Pokemon. So yeah. So right now I'm just looking at the trailer and yeah, so we see some more general shots of the game, and then we get to um this part in the trailer where there's a strange looking glowing Jigglypuff. This glowing Jigglypuff. So this is like you find Pokemon around like this, and this is how those uh these Pokemon just like terrestrialize when you start a battle with them, but they're just kind of like standing there, all glowing and stuff, and you fight them on your own. So that's kind of interesting as well. And afterwards, after a little while, their terrestrialization gotta be careful to say that right. Terrestrialization just stops, and you gotta like how Jigglypuff specifically reacts to losing its terrestrialization. It's like, oh, oops, it ran out. Oh well, I guess not a big deal. That's funny. Okay, and yeah, then we see this and then we get to see the Pokemon status summary. We get to see the status screen, and we can see a bunch of stuff here. Obviously, in this example, they show the Jigglypuff that was just caught, and it says, and you see the typical stuff. You can see the name, the type, the OT, the ID, experience points, and specifically the amount you need for the next level. Name, gender, language, surprisingly, and also and level. Yep, yeah, pretty nicely displayed, all right there. And on the top, you can see um two more extra tabs which they're not showing, but underneath type, it also shows Terra type, and you can also see like the icon for water is shown in a different style to the icons for normal and fairy, being the Terra type. So in the trailer they say like some Terra types might be rarer than others. It's like I still don't know what that means. Well, wouldn't you have an equal chance of finding any Terra type on any Pokemon? Like is that like something they had to go and like configure for each Pokemon? It's like, what does that mean? It's one of those things. Okay, so but anyway, on to the next thing. So they explained the Let's Go feature, basically the auto battling thing where you send out your Pokemon on its own, and it goes and does stuff on its own. But like those items it obtains, well, first of all, it can obtain normal items like it usually would, like a TM or something, but also when it battles Pokemon on its own, it finds items like, for example, they show Litleo Tuft, and so these kinds of items, they're like crafting materials, and you see this whole TM machine interface, which oh boy, oh boy. You basically make your own TMs, and there's like at least over 100, as we could see. There's a lot going on here. Well, first of all, it shows like a nice image of the move being used. It shows the number, the type, power, accuracy, PP, description, whether it's special, physical, or status. Yeah, so, and of course it also shows like you need, like for example, in this screenshot for charm, it says you need 400 LP, that's league points, Azurifer, and Teddy Ursiclaw, and you need 3 of each of those, but in this case this player has 10. And of course on the left it shows who can learn that move. And yeah, so you craft your own TMs. That's kind of interesting. It's kind of similar to like in Sword and Shield, where you get the TRs from the raids, but instead you're getting these materials and you're kind of crafting your own TMs. So you could do this pretty early on in the game, I'm guessing. Yeah, depending on what items are available when and what kind of moves said items create. You could get some pretty good moves early on, depending on how often you do this, what kind of items you happen to obtain. Yeah, but also then there's also the fact that this is more of an open game with it being open world. Yeah, so yeah. All right, next we have more explanations of stuff we pretty much already know. Just, oh yeah, Team Star, the giant cloth, yep, trading, and then we have what was shown on the thumbnail for the trailer, which is Girafarig evolving into, and can't believe this is how it's pronounced, Farigarath. So yeah, okay, so so the name is interesting. The name is kind of interesting. So Girafarig is the name. It's like it's spelled the same backwards as it is forward, kind of like Eevee. So what they did for Farigarath is kind of invert that. Instead it's like swapped from inward to outward. At least I think that's what it is. I'm not gonna bother checking, but that's what it sounds like. Very interesting. Okay, so let's get on to Farigarath, new Pokemon. This is a normal and psychic type. Always appreciate good psychic type. And there's the height, obviously, very tall. There's the weight. And the abilities are Kudchu and Armor Tail. So yeah, two abilities are both brand new. 2 brand new abilities. Wow. So Kudchu, when this Pokemon eats a berry, it will eat it one more time at the end of the next turn. That's very specific. So it's kind of like parental bond, which makes it so that what that ability does is it kind of makes you use a move twice, but the second time is not as strong. Obviously they nerfed that, I'm pretty sure. But Kudchu kind of reminds me of that. So the example they show is Farigarath uses a citrus berry. On the next turn, the ability activates and causes it to use the citrus berry again, where normally the citrus berry would be lost, and then you can't use it. But it's interesting they specifically specify not only the next turn, but the end of the next turn. How end are we talking about? Like, obviously this means that it's a low priority ability that, considering it happens at the end of the turn, but like, what other stuff would still go before it, if at all, you know? It's these kinds of specific things that you don't really find out till you get the game yourself and, you know, try out, or other people try out, and they tell you. And the other ability is Armor Tail, another new ability which simply makes it so that opponents can't use priority moves. Much more simple to understand, and the example they show is, oh, the Wild Sinistea cannot use Sucker Punch. Yeah. So, there we go. And, of course, descriptions. So, as you can see, looking at it, the head and main, the head on its main body and the head on its tail combined, and this increases its psychic energy, because we can't have psychic type without talking about psychic energy, whatever that is, really. But yeah, there are times, there are times when its body cannot react as fast as two brains can think, and it emits psychic waves from its antenna. Anyway, yeah, don't need to read the descriptions because you can see them, but also, it also mentions how its tail is equipped for both offense and defense. Yeah, so when they say stuff like that, you gotta wonder, like, how's it translate to gameplay, both offense and defense? Yeah, so that is Farigiraf. Okay, so let's see what's next. Gotta be careful I don't miss anything. Yeah, ugh. There's a lot here. So next in the trailer, well, they just showed the Pokédex a little bit. You get these nice pictures for each Pokemon, which are really nice. So for Farigiraf, you just see one main Farigiraf and some others just kind of hanging out in the fields. Yeah. So next we have some more stuff we already know about gyms and such. Yeah, the grass gym where Sudowoodo terrestrializes into a grass type. Yeah, that again. But then we see some customization options like hairstyles and such. And then yeah, not much to say about that. Customization, it's back again, which well, I pretty much expected. And then we have this strange camera mode where you can take pictures and stuff, where you can move around the camera and take pictures. Yeah, kind of reminds me of a similar mode in, I think, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate had something like that, and I think, Super Mario Odyssey also has that. Yeah, don't think I'll be using that, but whatever, cool for people who want it. And then after, we have what is clearly the Pokemon Ami equivalent of this game. So first we have Pokemon Ami, and then we have Pokemon Refresh, and then we have the whole camping thing, and now we have Picnics, which is not too different from Generation 8's variation on it. Not too different. But yeah, Picnics, so you just kind of have a giant picnic table and seats appear out of nowhere. instead of a giant camping tent appear out of nowhere. But yeah, so you see you also see on the bottom left some controls. So you have throw ball, crouch, whistle, call Miradon, sorry, hide, guide, and pack up and go. So yeah, you see the players send out their whole entire party all at once, all 6 of their Pokemon at once. And yeah, there's not much for me to say about this, because obviously I don't really use these types of features. But one thing I gotta say is, like, so there's like this sort of sandwich making minigame, and surprisingly, they seem to be using some sort of physics, because you see them like picking up the ingredients, and you like have to like place them down, and you can see them reacting to each other and move. Yeah, they clearly use some sort of physics for that. And you make the sandwich, and you get special perks like catching power up for fairy, encounter power up for grass, raid power up for ground, and of course they mention things like, oh, this can make you get more experience points. So yeah, it's clearly meant to be like, it clearly is the Ami Refresh camping equivalent of this game. In case you weren't sure, that makes it very, very clear. So yeah, pretty sure that's optional. And you have like a whole interface where you can like entire list of different ingredients as well. So yeah, have fun collecting those if you want to do that. Okay, yeah, not much to say really else. Next they show a Terra raid battle against a Ghost Terra type Chansey. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I already mentioned this, but Terra raid battles, the 4-player ones, have like are not exactly turn-based. You have like an option to cheer, which does things like increase stats or heal, and it's on like a timer, like not a turn timer, like an actual timer. So yeah, that's very interesting. You see the time. There's a timer underneath Chansey's health bar. Yeah, but not much to say about that. We already know about Terra raid battles, and yeah, pretty much it. Not too much really when you think about it, because most of it's just repeating stuff and clarifying things and explaining things as well in more detail. Okay, so yeah. Next up is a series of much smaller trailers with not as much in them. So okay, this is kind of strange. So we have this brand new gym leader, Iono. Yes. So okay, for the longest time, I thought this said Lono, not Iono, because first of all, as you can see in the font I'm using for this video, the I kind of looks like an L. So on some fonts, the uppercase I and uppercase L look kind of similar, so it can be kind of hard to tell. But no, it's Iono, and I'm pretty sure it's Iono because that makes way more sense, and she's the electric type gym leader. And in case you can't tell from the tone of the video that introduces her, yeah, she's clearly meant to be a sort of streamer, influencer type of person, and oh boy, they really play up that whole theme completely. There's even down to the way the video starts and ends with the outro. They really went for it. And yeah, like I don't really have too much to say about that. But they do a whole thing about like, oh, try to guess what her partner Pokemon is. So yeah, in the next video, is it the next video? Yeah, it's the next video. They post 2 videos after that. One where they reveal said Pokemon, and that Pokemon is Bellibolt. Okay, so this thing, first of all, let's talk about its appearance, because that actually is worth talking about. What you think are its eyes are not its eyes. You see where its mouth is, those 2, what you think would be its nostrils? No, those are its eyes. Those little yellow bits, those are its eyes. Its real eyes. But I like this Pokemon, it's nice. all squishy as they describe it. And it has like a sort of generator on its belly. And this is, in case it wasn't obvious, an electric type. There's the height, there's the weight, and the abilities are Electromorphous and Static. Static, we already know about, is an ability that already exists, but Electromorphous, another new ability. So yeah. So this causes Bellibolt to become charged when hit by an attack, and that boosts the power of the next electric type move that gets used. So in the example they show, being hit by Aqua Tail charges Bellibolt, and on the next turn the next electric type move would do more damage. So yeah, and it just says what charged when hit by an attack. So yeah, it doesn't have to be any sort of specific attack. It can be just any attack and you become charged. Kind of reminds me of the move charge that makes it the electric move that just makes your electric Pokemon charged. I think it just I'm not sure whether it just increases your stats or actually adds some sort of charge function. Actually, yeah, let me check that. Good, I can check that quick. Yeah. Yes, if the user's next move is electric type, it will do twice the amount of damage. So that's probably what that means. So the charge effect that you would get from charge, you get from this ability, and that's after being hit by any sort of move. So that's pretty interesting. Yeah. And there's also description. So yeah, like I mentioned, its belly button dynamo produces a high amount of electricity. So instead of its cheeks, it's its belly button. They also mention how, obviously, like I said, its actual eyes are not the big white bits. Its actual eyes are really small, and it says it's very easygoing, which, yeah, you could kind of tell looking at it. It looks like pretty easygoing, I would say. Yeah, kind of. To be honest, it kind of looks like a sort of speaker to me, but but yeah, it's more a generator actually. That's what they say. It's a generator, and you don't see these in the screenshots, but you do see it in the trailers, where the belly is sort of partially transparent when viewed from the side. Yeah, but that's Bellibolt. They also show they also show 2 trailers for them Iono and Bellibolt, one just for the reveal and one for gameplay. Not much in the gameplay trailer. There's really not much to say. They show gameplay of the encounter, the battle, and then of just Bellibolt itself in general. Yeah, not much to say. Not much to say. But then, okay, so then we get another trailer of a new Ghost-type Pokemon. And this trailer is done from the as if it were being done from someone who was exploring around, researching, looking for ghost types. So yeah, they see a Mimikyu, they see a Gengar, and yikes. Just, can you imagine that, just going around like this, just seeing a bunch of Pokemon everywhere? I would assume that if you would do that, you would have Pokemon of your own. And then they spawn what appears to be a candle, but oh no, it's the new Pokemon. Yeah, so it looks kind of like a dog. It kind of looks like a sort of ghost-looking dog. Yeah, a ghost type, obviously. And they play fetch with it, but then start getting really tired because it's actually draining their energy while they're doing that. So yeah, that's that. Not much to say about that. But then, of course, afterwards, they have another trailer which is more like a proper trailer that just shows the new Pokemon in gameplay. Yeah. So, let's talk about that new Pokemon. This new Pokemon is called... Let me pull it up. Not called, let me pull it. Okay. The new Pokemon is called... Again... Graveyard. Yeah, let's say, yeah, Graveyard. Let's go with that. Graveyard. Again, pronunciation. Gotta get used to things. Okay, so Graveyard is a ghost type, pure ghost type. Honestly, I think people were expecting, like, if they do a sort of ghost dog Pokemon, that it would be the first ghost normal type. Actually, do we have a ghost normal type yet? I don't think so. Yeah, it's still one of those unused type combinations. But yeah, no, it's just a pure ghost type. There's the height, there's the weight, and the ability is pickup. Nothing too fancy there. And there's the descriptions too. And yeah, not much to say with the descriptions. It's pretty much what I said about its reveal trailer. But it does mention things like how it hides in the ground, like it has a candle on its head, so it kind of hides in the ground and just looks as if it's just a candle on the floor. And it also on the right description says, like, oh, it's friendly, it's easily gets lonely, so it's like it's doing the Darkrai thing, where is it the Darkrai thing? Because, like, I'm pretty sure, like, when I watched the movie for Darkrai, they mentioned how, like, well, you know, Darkrai has the ability Dream Eater. No, not the ability. Its ability is Nightmare. Yes. Yeah. No, its ability is called Bad Dreams. Oh, I know the mechanic. It took me a while to remember the name. Yeah, Darkrai. So Darkrai has the ability Bad Dreams, right? And the whole thing with Darkrai was that it causes people who are sleeping to have nightmares. But, like, in the movie for Darkrai, I remember them saying like eh, how it does that unintentionally and it's not like its fault and stuff. The Darkrai Mystery Dungeon was not like that at all. Yikes. It was very different. So yeah, it kind of reminds me of that where being around it has a negative effect on you, but it doesn't mean it. That this Pokemon's kind of similar in that regard. Yeah. So yeah, that's that new Pokemon. Again, not much to say because the trailer is just the reveal of the Pokemon. And our last trailer, last of these short trailers, really, is two of them. Honest, and the upload order is kind of weird for these because I think they were uploaded at the same time. Anyway, so this one I don't really get as much because I think they did this whole event where they had this website where it was just a picture of a chest and it was filling up over time. But I missed it because I wasn't like following this stuff as closely because I was on holiday. But yeah, I didn't really keep up too much with this. So, and also because this new Pokemon also showed up on Pokemon Go. This Pokemon showed up on Pokemon Go, and I think it's like a similar situation to what happened with Meltan. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be a very, very similar situation like it was with Meltan. And that also means we're going to have another Pokemon that's just ambiguous as to what region it's actually counted as. Yeah. So again, it was in Pokemon Go, but I don't really exactly know how. I think you just find it. I don't play Pokemon Go, so yeah. But they did post a more normal trailer for it, which just shows the Pokemon, and it has two forms. One it's in a chest, and one it's just on its own. But it has one coin that it carries. The chest form has like a bunch of coins inside of the chest. So let's go over the chest form first. So this Pokemon is called Gimmighoul. Chest form specifically. It is a ghost type, pure ghost type. There's the height, there's the weight, and its ability is Rattled. Okay, so in the trailer for Gimmighoul, which is called "Where Are These Mysterious Coins Coming From?", we have the characters Jock and Professor Willow talk about this Pokemon and its two forms and they talk about like how one form is basically common in Pokemon Go and one's more common in the games. Yeah, so like the form we're getting in the games is gonna be the chest form. And the interesting thing is like I found this kind of interesting is that they say like, oh, it's strange for Pokemon of the same species to be behaving differently, which I thought was kind of weird because, well, if it's a species, if something's a species, that implies there's multiple of it, obviously, and I'm sure multiple of a thing would have differences while having some similarities, but yeah, they so these differences are enough to consider it a different form. I mean, yeah, so they just kind of decide these are two separate forms, just like that, and even name them. So, is this how some Pokemon are considered different forms? And some are not? Because, I mean, like, well, Mimikyu's two forms are just one where its head is slightly tilted over, really. That's your new form. Yay. Anyway. Yeah, so that's pretty much all there is to say about that trailer, but there is a portion near the middle where they do this sort of what is it called, like pop-up storybook style of a story where someone finds a Gimmighoul and is tricked into collecting coins for it and filling up his chest. 999 specifically. Yes. Yeah, so two forms are very different, as you can see, but I wonder if we can still obtain the roaming form somehow and you know, use it. Yeah, so anyway, let's go on to the descriptions for the chest form. So yeah, it mentions how it hides inside a chest and it moves slowly. Yeah. So, and they mention like how it's not uncommon for chest form Gimmighoul to be mistaken for an antique or be sold or something, but like, okay, so especially with the picture they use for the left description, so obviously the first thing that comes to mind with this Pokemon is that it's the sort of, you know, the mimic trope, is that what it's called? Wherein like, you know, like in other RPGs, where you would go around and find treasure chests, and those treasure chests would have items inside, but then there would be one enemy that looks exactly like said treasure chests, and you would suddenly find out, oh, that's not a real treasure chest, that's an enemy that looks like a treasure chest. Yeah, that's basically what this Pokemon is, really, and this is kind of an interesting take on it, in that it's actually kind of a more direct take on it, because we sort of already have a sort of mimic Pokemon already, multiple actually, because the thing is, in Pokemon, you do find items just, you know, around on the ground or somewhere, but you don't find them in like chests, you find them in item balls, and no, they're not Pokeballs, I'm pretty sure they're not Pokeballs, they're called item balls, though they look exactly like Pokeballs. They're item balls. Yeah. Item balls. So, but we had like, in Gen 1, we have Voltorb and Electrode, and you would go up to an item ball, and oh no, it's not an actual item ball, it's a Voltorb or an Electrode, and you would be tricked, and suddenly, oh, it's a battle with a wild Voltorb or Electrode. Yeah, we got more Pokemon like that, like, you know, Fungus, and its evolution, yeah. So we got more Pokemon like that as well, but this is a more direct take on it, because like that wouldn't work, obviously. So Yeah, the second description, how it mentions what we saw on the trailer, where how it makes people collect coins for them. So I like how they added that, and I like how they added the 2 forums and the whole tie-in with Pokemon Go to give this Pokemon more to it beyond being just the mimic trope, except not really, because that wouldn't work in Pokemon. Yeah, so next up we have the roaming form of Gimmighoul, and we don't know anything about it at all. So yeah, we don't know its type even, really. We just know its appearance. Really, not much to say. And I guess whatever we know about it from Pokemon Go, which again, I don't play Pokemon Go, so I wouldn't know. Yeah, roaming form of Gimmighoul. Not much to say about that. It just carries a single coin all on its own, with its tail, that it doesn't look like it would be able to carry that at all, but it does, and it's pretty funny. Yeah. And that's that. There was one more trailer after that, but really, this trailer is more like a just barely before the game has come out sort of trailer, like their last even more overview general trailer. Yeah, very, very general, but there's one part where we see 2 forms of Donphan. And yeah, these are, and I'm pretty sure these are meant to be what people have been calling the Paradox Pokemon, the past forms and the future forms. I'm pretty sure that is what that is meant to be. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Really, not anything else. There was another overview trailer, another one that was posted to Nintendo's channel, not Pokemon's channel, but that, unlike this one, has nothing at all. Yeah, to talk about. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I went through everything. The only other thing I will say is that, like I said earlier, near the beginning of the video, there's the leaks are coming out, and oh boy, there's a lot of leaks, and the game's being data mined as well. So yeah, of course it would be this close to release, which means I am obviously been looking at them. Cause I look at the leaks, and I look at the leaks to find out all the information, like stuff like what Pokemon are gonna be in the game, their stats, what moves they learn, their evolutions, the evolution methods, obviously, as well, and where to encounter them, because what I like to do is I like to plan out what 6 Pokemon I'm going to be using in advance. I like to do that, and I have started to do that now since the leaks have come up now. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And with that, thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like because it helps the channel on, and be sure to subscribe for some more Pokemon news. Thanks for watching. Bye.